Hey guys, hey. So it's probably, let's see what time it is. I'm gonna tap you on my thing. It's 8:44. I left the house around, I want to say I left the house around 8:30, so it's been about 14 minutes, but I'm gonna take my time. And I'm actually walking to the gym. Now, normally, I would never go this late. I would be terrified to go this late. I would be horrified to try to go at night. But I live on base, guys. I mean, for serious. Like, one of the safest places I could possibly be is here on base. And it's really important to me that I live my best life. Like, for serious. Like, that I live my very, very best life. And then I'm crossing the road. In order to do that, I have to make certain sacrifices, and I have to do things that I normally would never do, right? Well, that includes going to the gym at night and walking by myself. Is this scary to me? Yes. Yeah, of course it is. Is it getting darker? Yeah. But again, I'm on base. It's lit up. There's this place is kind of like a ghost town. This place is kind of like there's no one ever here. Let me put it in a different way. Oh. I have to keep looking down. I'm sorry, because I'm afraid I'm going to trip. Nobody is around, ever. Unless you're at the doctor's office, I rarely ever see anybody. And even then, it's not like anybody I would recognize. Nose is running. I'm scared of being stagnant, and one of my best friends was telling me last night, either last night or today, that I need to get out of the house, and I need to I need to be more comfortable, because when I was my happiest is when I was walking every day and when I was feeling good about myself. And of course I've got like 12 pounds of regain. Well, actually today it was 10 pounds of regain, but I'm uncomfortable being, in my opinion, fat. I have a very hard time with giving myself credit. Number one, you guys already know that, but it's not just credit. I have a very hard time letting myself relax, because I have an addiction problem. I have a food addiction. Now, some people will understand what that means, some people won't. But if I give myself an inch, I will take the mile. If I allow myself, treats, it's never just a treat for me. It's always, this made me feel better because this is calming me, because I feel so good while I'm eating it, because it is like my heroin. It really, really is. And it's sad. It's sad to have to put it that way, that this is like drugs to me. I'm more worried about my food addiction than I would ever be worried about me taking my pain meds. I'm more worried of dying from a heart attack, high cholesterol, diabetes, a widowmaker like my brother. I'm more worried about that than I am overdosing on anything. That's how serious my food addiction is. And I don't know how you guys feel about this kind of stuff, or if people process things the way I do. I check my surroundings with you guys, so it's it's one of those things that I'm like, okay, Nirvana, like, you're depressed. Well, why are you depressed? Well, I have a headache. Well, why do you have a headache? Well, because I could have migraines. Okay, well, you have migraines, fine. You could also have a brain tumor. You see what I'm saying? Like, I could have a headache, and a headache turns into a migraine. A migraine will then turn into, well, I might have some kind of weird form of epilepsy, or I might have some kind of, maybe I have MS. Maybe if I give an inch, I'm going to take the mile. And I have to rein myself in a lot. So, a lot of times, I'm just making sure what's going on around me. A lot of times I do have to wall myself off because I'm cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Like, I really am. So here's a perfect example. I talk to you guys pretty much every day. I make videos pretty much every day to not only keep myself busy, to keep myself accountable, but because it makes me feel like I have friends. So I overshare on social media because I really don't have anybody in real life right now that I get to talk to on a daily basis. Now that I've said that, it's not that I couldn't. It's that I don't feel like it's fair to subject just one person to my personality, to my depression or my manic or literally just about anything. Like, I check cars and stuff, like, even before I get anywhere near them, just because I'm cautious and weird like that. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, I don't feel it's fair for me to subject poor people, one specific person or even two specific people, to my kind of crazy every day. So I try to talk to people once a week, or I'll check in with them like every 2 weeks, or like once a month. Like, what have you been up to? How are you? Like, how are things going with you? Where, who the hell wants to say, oh yeah, well, I've been depressed for 6 weeks straight. I've been thinking about suicide on a constant basis, even though I know I'm not going to do anything about it. I'm going to therapy. I'm trying to work through it. Like, who wants to hear that every day? Because it doesn't change for me. Checking my surroundings. It doesn't change for me. So I try to call people on my good days. Well, I don't get a whole hell of a lot of those at the moment. And that's okay. I've learned to live like this. I've learned that it's okay. That, I am who I am. And no matter what, no matter how bad my day is, it could be worse. And that I'm alive, and I have food, and I have dogs, and I have a wife, and I have friends. You guys, I know I do not want to cry while I'm walking to the gym. Maybe some of you don't consider yourself my friend because we're not in real life, like hanging out and doing stuff. But I don't see things that way. Because all my friends have always lived in my computer. I started making online friends, and I still have quite a few of them. When I was 18 years old. So when my daddy died, a couple months later, my brother Lonnie, who's passed away now, had bought me a computer. Well, he bought him a computer, but he allowed me to use it. Well, we had AOL and Yahoo back then. Well, AOL and Yahoo, awesome. I started meeting people in a movies chat room because I love movies and, I dig music and stuff like that. So those are the chat rooms I would go into. And I still have a lot of those same friends on my Facebook right now, because you can make lifelong friends with people even through the internet, especially through the internet. Like, I can't tell you how many people I've met. I met my wife through the internet. I met my wife. Like, do you even hear like what I'm saying? Like, without the internet, without the connections that you could make, like, I would have never met Evelyn. I would have never met anybody. I would still be this scared 40-year-old living in somebody's basement somewhere, typing away on a video game. And, I'd never be doing this. I would have never went to Korea. I would have never went to Montreal. I would not be married. I'd probably be on my deathbed. I would be one of those people that you'd have to cut out of the house. I'd be one of those people that, because I was on the way to that. You don't understand. Or maybe you do understand. Maybe you're in that situation right now. I was one of those people, like, on my 600-pound life. I wasn't quite bedridden yet. But that was just out of sheer fucking will, to be honest with you. Like, that was just me being stubborn, because at any time I could have given up and not gotten out of bed. Because let me tell you, I hurt now. That doesn't compare to what I felt, like the real pain that I felt when I was over 500 pounds. Now, we don't know how big I got, okay? We're not sure. I don't talk about it a whole lot. I don't think about it a ton. I'm gonna have to cross the street here in a second. I don't think about it a whole lot because it upsets me. We don't know how big I got. We do know that I had to have an extra large 25-inch wheelchair, that even though that's what I had, we had to take the sides and the feet off of it because I was so wide. And I was breaking it. And this was made for somebody who is super morbidly obese. And, I mean, that might sound crazy to you, but my legs were rubbing the wheel. Like, my outer thighs have burns on them where it had, been wheeled around, like in the kitchen, and I would sit in it while I was doing stuff, and all the time I was in it, because it was the only chair I could fit in. It was the only thing I could sit on that wouldn't break. And because I've had therapy, I can talk about this right now. And because I've had therapy, this is something that I can honestly talk about without bursting into tears, having, a panic attack. Hold on. But I don't know how big I got. By the time we finally got me medical attention, like from a real doctor, we were, it wouldn't register me. So I had to start losing weight before they would give me my surgery, obviously. So I went on Weight Watchers. Well, about 3-4 months later, on Weight Watchers, which, by the way, is an amazing tool, is an amazing program if you're just starting out. Weight Watchers, counting your points really teaches you it's like a bargaining chip, like almost like, okay, I have 10 points left for dinner. Now I can have 10 points worth of chicken, which is delicious, or I can have 4 points worth of chicken and I can have a half a scoop of ice cream. Or I could have a full scoop of ice cream and use all my 10 points. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, I could actually get full on the chicken, or I could waste my points on ice cream, or I could divvy them up. You see what I'm saying? Weight Watchers was phenomenal for somebody like me because I didn't feel like I couldn't have something. I felt like no matter what, I could have it if I wanted it. And as long as there was movement, you get extra points. So I would go work out like I do now, 5-6 days a week, hours at a time. I would do that. And I'd be super proud of myself. And eventually I had so many points I couldn't even eat that much. Like, I legitimately couldn't even eat that many fucking points. And so that was amazing for me. I lost 72 pounds doing Weight Watchers. And slowly, I was able to like get out of my wheelchair more often, and I was able to stand up just a little bit, and I was able to walk. I remember the first time I stepped outside Janet's house and took an actual walk. And it was just to the mailbox and back. But that was one of the scariest walks I'd ever had in my life. That was one of the craziest, scariest walks because I didn't have my chair to fall back on. I didn't know. I didn't have a walker and I didn't have a cane then. So I didn't know if I would be able to actually stand up for that long. What if I had to sit down? What if I fell? Okay, because if I fell, what would I do? That kind of thing went through my head. Same kind of stuff that kind of goes through my head now, but just slightly different because I know I can get up. You know, I know I'm stronger than I was then. But, you know, I'm still, at that point, when I first started being able to stand up and stuff like that, I think I was just under 500. And I was moving around and doing stuff that I wanted to. And I was able to get up and off the couch and walk up and down the stairs. Oh, guys, I have a video, I think, or I have a picture at least, of these damn steps at Janet's house. And they were my nemesis. I would have to have Jay, okay, which is Janet's husband, stand in front of me so I could lean on him. I'd have to go down sideways and kind of push myself up against the back of the stairwell, and he'd stand in front of me, and I'd have Janet carrying either the dogs or my stuff that I had upstairs with me down the steps because there's no way I could make it back up again to grab my stuff. So I remember the first time making it up the stairs by myself. And it was one of the most freeing yet scariest fucking things I had ever done, honest to God. But it was amazing. Once I realized these little things that I could do for myself, once I slowly started, oh God, I can do this. Well, if I made it this far, I could go a little further. Oh shit. Well, I walked to the gym in 30 minutes last time. Maybe I could do it in 25 minutes this time. Well, I've managed to walk to the gym. I know exactly where it's at quite a few times by now. There's light outside. I left before it was dark. Maybe I could just walk myself there and talk to you guys. So things like that for me, believe it or not, are little goals that I give myself, that I tell myself, okay, well, I think you can do this. And then it becomes, no, I know I can do this. You see what I'm saying? Like it becomes oh, well, I am doing this. So it starts off with a little inkling of, I'm scared, I'm terrified, I don't know what to do. I may be able to do this, until it becomes oh shit, I am doing this. Because look, here is the fucking gym, guys. Here I am. And it's been 18 minutes since I started this video. But I've been talking to you guys the whole time, and I haven't been scared, and I've been excited, and I've just been taking my time and distracting myself. But here I am. And I'm here at the gym, and it only took me like 28 minutes to get here. So that's a big deal. Like what I'm trying to tell you is that if you start little tiny bit, and then you can build on that. And it's okay to be scared, and it's okay if you don't understand what's going on, and it's okay to be frightened all the time. It is so okay to be frightened all the time. I'm terrified constantly. But you know what? I do my best, and like my heart is going a million miles a minute because I'm just so fucking proud that I'm here. I made it here. I did this. I made sure that I was going to be here tonight, and that no matter what it took, as long as I was going to be safe, I knew I could do this. And here I am. So it's just like when I was over 500 pounds and like just little tiny steps up the steps, like 2 or 3, I would take 4 steps up, I'd rest. I would sit there and pant like I'm doing now, but I'm tired. I'd sit there and pant forever, but then I would take another 2 or 3 steps and my back would be hurting and I'd take a rest. Now there was 12 steps, 13 technically, because trust me, I counted those fuckers every single solitary day, up and down, up and down, up and down. So if today you're terrified about something and you're worried about it and you don't think you can do it, I believe in you. If today you've had a horrible day and you're in pain and you're miserable and you're depressed and you don't think tomorrow will be any better, I'm here to tell you I believe it will. And if it isn't, well, the next day will be. And if that day isn't better, then the next day will do. There's always a way to be happier. There's always hope if you're willing to see it. So if nobody's told you today that you're beautiful, I think you're gorgeous. If nobody's told you today that you're amazing, I know for a fact you are. You're here. And that makes you amazing. If nobody's told you today that you're fantastic and that you're kind and that you're compassionate and that you're just an amazing person, hi, my name is Nirvana. It's wonderful to meet you. Thank you for spending time with me today and walking with me to the gym, because I needed that. And that's what friends do for each other. That's the kind of support that I needed, and you were here, even though you didn't even know it. So I wanted to say I love your beautiful, gorgeous, amazing faces. I'm going to go ahead and go inside and get my workout on, and I will talk to you guys very, very, very soon. Mwah. If you're wondering what I'm drinking, this is the Rainbow Unicorn from Bang. It's sugar-free. They're amazing. I love them, and I love you guys. So thank you for being here, and thank you for walking with me, and thank you for always believing in me, because sometimes I need that more than you know. So I'll talk to you guys soon. Mwah. Bye.